Let's go! Let's go! This way! Let's go! Oh yeah, Mario time! Yeah! Let's go! Woohoo! This way. Ha! Yeah! Let's go. Oh yeah, Mario time. Ha! Let's go. Oh yeah, Mario time. Huh. Let's go. Oh yeah! Yeah! Let's go! Oh, yeah!
What?